everyone deserves to feel like a badass, you know? Like, yes, a lot of people aren't gonna become fighters. I mean, it's not your thing. But like, there's a lot of engineers that do jiu-jitsu that they're very unassuming when you see them at the bar or something, but they can clearly like whoop your butt, you know, and defend themselves. I think women, kids, shy men, they can gain confidence. They can feel like a badass just training something like this, you know. And then also for people who are people like me who are rough, fought all the time, and think they're strong and badass. This humbles you. You know, I think the sport does everything for you. Whether you just visit it or it becomes your life, it can do everything for you. Usually, you have these guys at the gym where they walk in and they're like, yeah, I can just do this, I'm tough, you know? And usually it's big guys, but I hate to say, it was me. A little Asian girl, walked into Hogarth's, because I grew up in a bad neighborhood and I fought all the time. So I walked in, I was like, yeah, I can fight. And then I quickly got told that it's not the way it works. I started with Crew Ali, so Muay Thai definitely was my first interest. I knew nothing. I mean, I wrestled in high school, but I knew nothing about jiu-jitsu, and I started. Crew Ali was the main coach then, so I started with Muay Thai and fell in love with Muay Thai. He's the reason I fell in love with Muay Thai. I fought a lot of Muay Thai in the beginning, so I started jiu-jitsu when I started getting interested in MMA, probably last year, but very on and off because I fight, like I said, every month, and Muay Thai camps, so I spent very little time on the ground. I've started MMA. I made my MMA debut 3-4 months ago, and ever since then I've been on the ground all the time, working on my weakness. So. Yeah, wait. Oh, did you get fat?
Yeah.
5:30 a.m. is strength and conditioning with the league. Terry, the trainer, he's amazing. 6:30 a.m. I go straight from strength and conditioning over to Houston Muay Thai for Muay Thai. So Muay Thai for breakfast, we like to call it. Go home, nap, rest up, and then 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock I'm at 4 ounce. Some days it's jiu-jitsu, some days it's striking, most days it's sparring. So that's my day, about 5-6 hours of training a day.
Good or not?
Yeah, I've had fights, 2 fights to where my mind wasn't there, and I completely didn't perform, and that taught me that most of it is mental. So it's definitely not just scrapping it out.
Push, punch, kick. So he can't sit there and really engage in the clinch with you. Here, control the biceps. Push away, jab, double jab, whatever. Okay, let's go back and forth.
I don't think about anything in my fights. I practice so much and drill so much that, you know, it's muscle memory, so everything I do in there is just automatic from when I train. And my coach actually says, luckily I'm a natural fighter, which means like some people in the cage, they don't hear anything and they just black out and go. Luckily, I guess it's natural that I hear my coaches. There are about 2 voices I hear and everything else is silent. And I don't think about anything in my head. Whatever I hear him say, I do. And then everything else is just muscle memory and it just comes naturally. For me, the rush, actually the rush I get, and I think a lot of fighters feel this way, is the walkout. The walkout is crazy intense because I'm calm all the way up until the fight. I'm confident in fight camp because I'm constantly getting beat up and overcoming it and getting broken down and overcoming it, so I'm confident in fight camp. The day of the fight, I'm completely calm. I don't even think about the fight. Right when I walk out, it gets real. It gets to where like I get doubts. Like I'm like, oh, she could beat me this way. Oh, but what if she does this? And but I can knock her out like this, and everything just goes through my mind, and I'm like, oh, I wonder where Jade and Tom, my best friends, are sitting, and I wonder, it just goes nuts. Like everything's in my mind. That's why I think a lot of fighters scream on their walkout, just trying to empty everything, you know? It's crazy. The walkout is the most intense. Once I get in the cage, there's nothing. There's nothing I think about. When I started MMA, I mean, my future wasn't looking too bright before MMA. I was in and out of juvie. I was living in a bad neighborhood, lived in the projects. And so once I stepped into the gym and fell in love with the sport, I decided I never finished anything in my life. I was like, this I'm gonna finish. This I love. This I'm gonna give everything up for. So I'm one of those fighters that this is it for me. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm going for the stars. I'm going for a world champion in MMA. I'm going for a Muay Thai champion. I'm going for all of it. I see a lot of my idols retiring with belts and doing all that they could. And now they're doing seminars and they're teaching, opening their own gyms, spreading the knowledge, and that's what I want to do. My biggest motivation though, I was a runaway and I was also a victim of domestic abuse. So yes, of course, right now I do little things like I do self-defense seminars at women's shelters and I speak to runaway kids. But I feel like you can't really do anything if you don't have a platform. So as soon as I get to where I'm able to reach more people and to where people care what I'm saying in my story, then I really, really want to write a book. I want to start foundations, charities, you know, all that. Anything I can help to prevent kids from running away, to prevent them to be victims or, you know, of domestic violence. And yeah, I think I didn't want to live through all that I did for nothing, you know? So that's my goal. For me, the reason I was a victim because I ran away from home, which left me with no foundations. And people with no foundations and no backing, you know, no people to have their backs, become victims. It's so tough to give them advice. People who are in it already, it's so tough because they don't see whatever I say right now. You know, make friends. Go to group sessions. It's hard for them. They don't see it. It's black, and that's how it was for me. You know, what I want to do is prevent people from becoming victims, because once you do become a victim, it becomes a black hole, and it's hard for people to help you. It's hard for us to start anything to help people that are in it right now. It's much easier and more productive to reach the kids before, empower them, and teach them before they become victims.